Okay, the air is on. The regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the Golden Rain Foundation of Laguna Woods, a California nonprofit mutual benefit corporation, Tuesday, June 6, 9:30, Laguna Woods. Call this meeting to order. So the next is the Pledge of Allegiance by Director Skillman.
Please stand and join me as I stand with pride to select to the flag of our United States. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So I acknowledge the media, and so the next item would be the approval of the agenda. Okay, we have approved. The approval of the agenda is approved. So the next item would be the approval of the minutes of May 2nd. Excuse me. GRF Board regular open meeting.
Madam Chair.
Are there any objections?
Yes.
You're okay.
There's a minor correction on page 15
Okay.
of the minutes. The two, I've already told the staff. The vote and the discussion should be reversed. The vote came first.
Okay. Are there any other corrections? If there's no other corrections,
The motion came first, I'm sorry.
do we have a motion to approve the amended
I moved.
regular open meeting minutes?
Elsie
okay.
moved, I second.
All right. If there's no objections, the open board regular open meeting of May 2nd is approved. The next would be May 18th, 2023, GRF board agenda prep meeting. Are there any changes? So if there's no changes, then are there any objections? So if there are no objections, then the minutes of May 18th, 2023, GRF agenda prep meeting is approved. So the next item would be the report of the chair. And I want to introduce our new board member, Martin Rosa. He is the replacement for Don Tibbetts as a delegate for United. And he brings to the board a background in technology and broadband. Thank you, Martin, for being part of our board now.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So the next item would be the CEO report.
Thank you, President Carpenter, honorable members of the board. I'm waiting for my presentation. There we go. This morning, I want to introduce you to the recent Employee Excellent Award winners. The next time you see them, I'm hoping you can take a moment and congratulate them for their outstanding performance and service to our community. The Employee Excellence Awards are presented in the spring and the fall. The awards highlight outstanding employees who demonstrate excellent customer service, achieve great results on projects, or regularly go above and beyond their regular job duties. These are professionals who serve residents, exceed service expectations, and make positive impact on the village living experience. In the CEO's office, it's my honor to recognize Michaela and Paul, who are seated right next to me this morning. They are our corporate secretaries. They manage the village governance function with efficiency and expertise, work flawlessly as a team to get the job done, no matter what challenges arise. Their flexibility, dependability, and positive attitude keep this critical function running smoothly. So I owe them a special thanks and debt of gratitude. Our next honoree is Mandy Webb, who is recognized in financial services. Mandy assists residents with delinquent assessments. For each resident, Mandy takes a personal interest in their specific situation, making sure the resident understands what is expected and making each resident feel heard and respected throughout the process. Mandy has helped many residents bring accounts current while turning difficult situations into positive experiences. In the General Services Department, John Sanchez, Transportation Coordinator, was recognized. John is a great example to other transportation employees on what it means to be a team player. He is always considering what transportation needs to keep operations running smoothly. He drives a fixed route bus when a driver is not available. He fills in on weekends if a scheduler needs time off. He also trains our new drivers. In the Human Resources Department, a team of employees were recognized. Gabby, Nicole, and Marcy demonstrate outstanding performance and excellent customer service. Gabby showed great diligence in implementing a new employee health insurance program. Nicole provides excellence in obtaining candidates to fill vacant positions in a timely manner. Marcy demonstrates excellence in managing the team in support of employees in HR operations. The Information Services team also recognized a group of employees. Pictured are Timothy, Daniel, Joshua, and Grant. They also have a key manager, John Curzette, who is part of this effort as well. This group completed network installation for the new offices within 3 weeks. They activated, tested, and had computer and phone ports ready for the employees to connect to when they moved to their new offices. And they assembled and configured computers following the move to ensure network access and availability of critical applications within hours. So our thanks to the Information Systems team for making this happen. Landscaping recognized Jose Vargas, foreman, and George Munoz, small equipment mechanic. Jose is a 24-year employee and runs one of our most efficient crews. He has an outstanding rapport with our residents and has detailed tracking of events, always on time, and does it flawlessly. George was proactive in streamlining the small equipment inventory process and is securing quotes on required electrical equipment and securing AQMD rebates for the same. Lori Chavaria was recognized by Maintenance and Construction. Lori has a great commitment to providing excellent customer service. She prepares the annual budget, tracks expenditures, and trains new employees on the budgeting system. Lori recently has taken on new responsibilities, including evaluating and assessing responsibility for reimbursements, and is the point of contact on issues elevated to board members and the CEO's office. Media and Communications recognized Mark Weiss, a senior production coordinator. Mark makes sure Village Television is operating at full efficiency. He directs and edits This Day programs and troubleshoots technical issues as they arise. Mark's efforts are critical in providing residents with entertaining movies, board meeting coverage, This Day program, and a multitude of programs broadcast on the channel. Recreation recognized 3 employees, Gail Ford, golf shop coordinator, for her dedication to customer service and her amazing organizational abilities that enhance both golf and now the garden center operations. Renee Anderson, Performing Arts Center coordinator, who kept the pack running when her supervisor departed and is an asset to her new supervisor. And Shun Ong, the Clubhouse 2 and 7 coordinator, who similarly kept the clubhouses running smoothly when her supervisor promoted to a new role. And lastly but not least, Kyle Bellinger from Security. Kyle is a Security Supervisor 1. Kyle looks for ways to improve processes to enhance safety, efficiency, and productivity. He's helpful in researching data and obtaining information needed to support services and projects. He has excellent communication skills and has received many commendations for his high level of customer service. So it is my pleasure to introduce you to this year's winners. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that concludes my update this morning. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So the next item is the open forum. There's 3 minutes per speaker. At this time, members only may address the Board of Directors regarding items not on the agenda and within the jurisdiction of the Board of Directors. The board reserves the right to limit the total amount of time allotted for the open forum to 30 minutes. Excuse me. A member may speak only once during the forum. Speakers may not give their time to another person, no audio or video recording by attendees, and no rude or threatening comments. So members can attend the meeting by joining the Zoom link 981-3125-7242 or call 1-669-900-6833 or email meeting@vmsinc.org to have your message read during the open forum. So do we have any speakers today?
We do. We have a few. The first speaker is Joe Fitzcombe.
Good morning, directors. A couple of subjects I want to talk about. Recently, there was an open house for people to visit our clubs. Our clubs could present themselves. I think that's a really good activity. A long time ago, I mentioned they should do that again because they had in the past. I think it was pretty successful. There were a lot of clubs there. Quite a few people participated. It's important that, since we have amenities, that the people who live here know what they are. So I think that was a really good thing. The village games, I think that came off. I think that was the largest number we'd had since PCM left. And so that was really successful, so I was glad to see that come up. And Joan probably remembers me, I'm sorry to mention her name, but advocating for that at one point in time. Memorial Day, I think it's something you can do more and more with. I attended a social with pickleball for Memorial Day. I got thinking about, we were talking about Holocaust victims, and it affects a lot of people. My wife is French. She was bombed by the Germans. The old cavalry of Napoleon was there, and those teenage kids went out and fought, held off the Germans. That was the first resistance, and that became Free France. It's a small world. Eventually, one of her customers became Omar Bradley's wife, and we did donations for the Ford Foundation, Betty Ford, who was a customer, and we also did for the Eisenhower Foundation in the desert also. So it's kind of a small world, from France to all these people who sometime had a connection to her. In fact, General Patton actually was went to school in the same town where she's from. I took some military classes. Recently, I mentioned about a legal action taking place. There were 5 things that went on, and a resident won in that case. You guys fought that and won back, so we'll admit that happened. And I hope some of the issues that are there that weren't approached will be sometime. I think a lot, sometimes it's hard for everybody to know something about everything, and most people are generally pretty good experts about whether it's pickleball or it's their theater or whatever the case might be. You get so much stuff, to take a look at and deeper and see what's there. And I think sometimes you get issues that are really important or really controversial, get some neutral people in there and let them go through and get the whole story of what has happened and how it affects everybody. A long time ago, there was a Twilight Zone episode where there was a book, and there was a gentleman 7 foot tall that came from outer space. And they were here to show us better medicine and all kinds of things. And so they finally decided to go with him because the actual book said on it, as they could interpret it, was how to serve man. But they didn't look far enough at the time to figure out it was actually a cookbook. So sometimes we complain, get together with us and see what we can do with some things. And sometimes it's much deeper than we think. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Next speaker is James Rappo.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to remind everybody today is the 79th anniversary of D-Day. And I want to thank the GRF team and the VMS team for the wonderful Memorial Day program. This was a fitting tribute to our heroes. I especially want to thank Mr. Nunez for his story about his father. And I want to commend the All-American Boys Choir. They were tremendous. Good job to all of you. The main reason I'm here today, the three of us are here from the Vision Club, three of our leaders, including our president, Jeannie Bray. I believe it was at the last GRF Board of Directors meeting that one of the directors indicated that the majority of the work that's done in GRF goes through the committees. And I believe that's probably true. So what we would like to know is, what committees are we supposed to work with regarding crosswalks in the village? We think this is an issue that needs the attention of this board, and we are very willing to work with whatever committees are appropriate to deal with that issue. If you recall also, I think at the last meeting, Diane Casey got up in public comments and spoke about the crosswalk that's on Estrada that goes over to Mallorca. If you come in from Gate 2 on Estrada heading towards Aragon, you come to a crosswalk. Well, first of all, there's a bit of a bend in the road, and there's a split in the road there where the left lane would go to Mallorca and the right lane goes straight. You also have a cul-de-sac there, and you may have, some car wanting to get out of the cul-de-sac. And then beyond that is the crosswalk. We have been told by at least one of the bus drivers that that's probably the most dangerous crosswalk, at least in this, let's say, the flat part of the village. So I think that crosswalk needs a lot of attention. We totally concur with Diane Casey on that issue. And we want to work with whatever committees are appropriate to make that crosswalk better. I was told that a pedestrian actually got killed in that area. Now, I don't know if that's a fact or not, but I have no reason to deny the veracity of the person that told me that. So that's one person too many, obviously. So we need to work on our crosswalks here, and we can certainly point out a number of crosswalks that should be dealt with first. I know we have a lot of crosswalks here, and it's a humongous task to try to upgrade them, but
James,
we have to start somewhere to make them better.
James, I'm sorry, your time is up,
Okay.
but I want to refer you to Juanita. Juanita is the chair of the security committee.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure that that's where you would go to address this issue. So afterwards or sometime if you want to contact Juanita to find out when the next meeting is, I'm sure she'll be glad to help you.
Our next meeting is June 28th in the afternoon here in the boardroom. And this is something that our committee is looking at. So please feel free to come and give your input.
Juanita, what's your last name?
Skillman, Skillman.
June 28th, what time?
1:30 here in the boardroom.
All right. Thank you very much.
Next speaker is Bill Ring.
Good morning. Good morning, Madam Chair, board members. First of all, let me thank you all for taking your time to be in the positions you are in to oversee the governance of the village. My name is Bill Ring, 149A. I think I've probably seen some of you before. You may not know, but I would imagine you've seen me before. I was one of the street corner singers in the original Rocky movie. Fun fact. I've been a musician and a singer for nearly 30 years. And I came to the village about 11 years ago. And about 18 months ago, I approached the recreation department after a light bulb went off here. And the question I posed was, where do the musicians in the village fit? Where do we get a place to rehearse, to play, to collaborate? One visit to the Clubhouse 4 will reveal that GRF is extremely generous in supporting all sorts of other creative activities for residents of the village. When I went to the recreation department, want to know what I was told? I was told, gee, you're the first person that's ever asked about that. Now, I don't know if the staffer there had been there 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, but it surprised me that the musicians are sort of the poor cousins of the village. We have no place to gather. We have no place to play music without disturbing someone in our homes or who are our neighbors. So I was told at the time that I should consider forming a club. Well, we did. And that club received approval, and we were part of the recent expo. We've gotten a lot of interest. We're building a list of other musicians in the village, and we're looking for your help in getting us this dedicated space where musicians can gather, rehearse, collaborate, record. We have equipment. We have people willing to donate equipment. We have no such place, and we are organizing. We shouldn't need a club to do it. A lot of others are given space without needing a club to do it. I see my time is running out. I hope I've made an impression upon you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next speaker is Chris Collins.
Good morning, Chris Collins, 3306Q, and I'm here once again with an update on the work of the Foundation of Laguna Woods Village, which we do on behalf of residents experiencing temporary financial emergency. We have a new fall prevention program. Don't become a statistic. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, every second of every day, an older adult suffers a fall in the United States. Falls in the Laguna Woods are particularly commonplace. Falls are the biggest reason why EMTs are called, and a recent review of ambulance calls to Memorial Care Saddleback Medical Center revealed that approximately half of the ambulance runs were due to falls. But while commonplace, falls can result in serious harm, both medically and financially. So falls are the key cause of fatal injury and the most common cause of hospital admissions among older adults. Beginning this July, to ensure residents don't become a statistic, the Foundation of Laguna Woods Village is partnering with Memorial Care Saddleback Medical Center to provide fall prevention classes free of charge here in the village at Clubhouse 2, with medical center staff leading the sessions. The sessions will focus on different aspects of fall prevention, incorporating chair exercises, stretches, and strengthening to help improve strength and stability. The program will be offered as 1-month segments with 3 one-hour sessions in each month. They will be held on Wednesdays from 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. in each of the following months, July, August, and September. Residents can register for a single month's attendance. You can do this on ActiveNet, or you can go to Clubhouse 2 or the Recreation office. Registration for the July 5th, 12th, and 19th programs will begin on June 1st. Space is limited, and workout clothes and tennis shoes are recommended. If you have any questions, please contact the Foundation at 949-268-2246 or the Foundation at comline.com. And for more information about the Foundation, please go to our website, which is thefoundationoflagunawoodsvillage.org. Please note that donations can always be made using PayPal on the foundation website. Thank you.
Next speaker is Cash Akrakar.
Thank you. Last night, our security force came to help and almost saved one life. It was that critical. The person was having 103 fever, and they had to be moved right away. And I want to appreciate what they did and the swiftness they worked. Thank you.
And we have an email that was sent in from a Miss Mary Doyle. It's a really short email, and the subject line, all she stated was, "We really need our old weekend regular hours of 9 to 4 back at Clubhouse 4." And that is all for open forum speakers. Thank you.
Are there any responses from the board? Okay.
For Bill, you know, Clubhouse, the PAC, Clubhouse 3, the rehearsal room is available to rent and practice in. And so I'm wondering why you don't take advantage of that. And as for the person, Mary Doyle that wrote in, she, I think, has already been informed that in next year's budget we're trying to get appropriations so we can open that clubhouse. Right now, it's not in the budget. Thank you.
Are there any other comments? Okay. If there's no further comments, we will go ahead to the next item, which is the consent calendar. So all matters listed under the consent calendar are recommended for action by committees and will be enacted by the board for one motion. In the event an item is removed from the consent calendar by members of the board, such items shall be subject to further discussion and action by the board. So number one, A is consistent with its statutory obligations. A subcommittee of the board consisting of the treasurer and at least one other board member reviewed and approved preliminary Golden Rain Foundation financials for the month of April 2023. By this vote, ratified that such review be confirmed in this month's board member open session meeting minutes. So the next one is B, which is to approve the appointment of the 2023 Inspector of Elections. So will you read a resolution, please?
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry about that. Resolution 90-23-XX, approval of the Inspector of Election Services. Whereas Civil Code 5110 and Corporations Code 7614 require an association to select an independent third party as an inspector of elections. And whereas an inspector of elections is used, among other tasks, to print and mail voter packages, inspect and tabulate ballots, and certify results. Now, therefore, be it resolved, June 6th, 2023, that the Board of Directors of Golden Rain Foundation hereby approves a contract to Unelect Corporation to perform inspectors of election services for the 2023 annual meeting of the corporate members, and resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are directed on behalf of the corporation to carry out this resolution. I move that we approve the entire consent calendar. Debbie seconds.
Are there any objections? So no objections, the consent calendar is approved. The next item is unfinished business, and I will need a motion to ratify the amended committee appointments. So Joan, please read the resolution.
Resolution 90-23-XX, GRF Committee Appointments. Resolved June 6, 2023, that the following persons are hereby appointed and ratified to serve on the committees of this corporation. The Community Act, I'll read the changes only. Community Activities Committee remains the same. The Finance Committee remains the same. Under Information and Technology Advisory Committee, Martin Rosa is added for GRF. And Landscape Committee remains the same. Maintenance and Construction Committee remains the same. The Clubhouse Renovation Ad Hoc Committee remains the same. Media and Communications Committee remains the same. The Website Ad Hoc Committee remains the same. Under the Broadband Ad Hoc Committee, Martin Rosa is now a member for GRF and has been taken off as an advisor. Under the Mobility and Vehicles Committee, remains the same. There's still an alternate needed for GRF. Security and Community Access Committee, again, Mukapadahe has been removed as a temporary GRF rep. And Martin Rosa has been replaced him. Among the other committees, the Disaster Preparedness Task Force remains the same. Laguna Village Traffic Hearings, SK Park has been removed as alternate, is now full term for third. Jules Zalen has been removed as third. Mark Laws is now the alternate for third. Under the Purchasing Ad Hoc Committee, Mark Laws has been removed from as third. Andy Ginocchio has been as his replacement for third. And Ralph Engel has become the alternate for third. Under the Select Audit Task Committee remains the same. Compliance Ad Hoc Committee remains the same. The Executive Hearings Committee has been added entirely with Bunny Carpenter as chair from GRF. Yvonne Horton is from GRF, Elsie Addington from GRF, and Joan Milliman as alternate for GRF. The Finance Advisory Committee has been added with Jim Hopkins as chair for GRF, Tom Tuning from United, Donna Rain-Sozak from Third, and Sue Stevens from Mutual 50. The correspondent remains the same. El Taro Water District is the same. And resolved further that Resolution 90-23-XX adopted May 2nd, 2023 is hereby superseded and canceled. And resolved further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out this resolution. I move we accept this resolution.
I second.
Debbie seconds.
Are there any changes or discussion? So if there's no discussion, there's no objections, then the committee appointments has been ratified. Thank you. So the next item is to entertain a motion to approve appeal policy, which has met the 28-day notification of member review. Do I hear a motion? No. Okay, you're going to read the resolution. Thank you.
Resolution 90-23-XX, Appeals Policy, amended June 6, 2023. Whereas from time to time, resident members seek approval from the Golden Rain Foundation Board of Directors on many matters of corporate business by way of the committee structure for review of a question that will ultimately be determined by the board. And whereas such committees forward recommendations regarding members' requests to the Golden Rain Foundation Board for consideration, and if the proposed request is disapproved, then such decision is subject to appeal to the Golden Rain Foundation Board by the mutual member. Now, therefore, be it resolved, June 6, 2023, that the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby establishes and adopts the attached appeals policy pertaining to the rights of members to appeal decisions of committees of the board, and as applicable by the board regarding certain corporate business for this corporation. And resolved further, Resolution 90-15-47, adopted September 1st, 2015, is hereby superseded in its entirety and canceled. And resolved further that the officers and agents of this corporation are directed on behalf of the corporation to carry out this resolution. I move that we approve this resolution.
Do you have a second?
Juanita seconds.
Is there any discussion? Are there any objections? Then the motion to approve the appeal policy has been passed. Thank you. So the next item is to entertain a motion to approve the nuisance policy, and it has met a 28-day notification member review. So please read the resolution.
Resolution 90-23-XX, nuisance policy, adopted June 6th, 2023. Whereas on August 2nd, 2022, the Board of Directors adopted the nuisance policy to set forth guidelines for nuisance complaints. And whereas the Compliance Ad Hoc Committee has recognized the need to revise the nuisance policy to provide concise interpretation of the policy. Now therefore be it resolved June 6, 2023, that the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby revise the nuisance policy as attached to the official minutes of this meeting. And resolve further that Resolution 90-22-35, adopted August 2nd, 2022, is hereby superseded and canceled. And resolved further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of this corporation to carry out the purpose of this resolution. I move that we accept this resolution. And Yvonne seconds it. Thank you.
Is there any discussion? If there's no discussion, are there any objections? So if there's no objections, the motion to approve the nuisance policy has passed. Thank you. So the next item is to entertain the motion to approve harassment policy.
Resolution 90-23-XX, harassment policy, adopted June 6th, 2023. Whereas the Board of Directors of Golden Rain Foundation of Laguna Woods, GRF, adopted the anti-harassment, anti-abuse, and anti-intimidation policy to allow for a joint committee to be created with United Laguna Woods Village, United and Third Laguna Hills Mutual. Whereas the United and Third boards of directors elected not to adopt the anti-harassment, anti-abuse, and anti-intimidation policy, and whereas the Compliance Ad Hoc Committee has recognized the need to adopt the harassment policy to set forth guidelines for harassment complaints received by the GRF Board. Now therefore be it resolved that on June 6, 2023, the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby approves the harassment policy as attached to the official minutes of this meeting. And resolved further that Resolution 90-23-03, adopted January 3rd, 2023, is hereby superseded and canceled. And resolved further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of this corporation to carry out the purpose of this resolution. I move that we approve this resolution. Yvonne seconds it. Okay.
Is there any discussion? Are there any objections? So if there's no objections, the motion to approve the harassment policy has passed. Thank you. So the next item is new business. It's entertain a motion to approve donation of a Milter-Saw clubhouse for the wood shop. So do we have a resolution?
We do.
Okay.
Resolution 90-23-XX, donation of miter saw for clubhouse for wood shop. This agreement entered into the 6th day of June 2023 is by and between the Golden Rain Foundation, GRF, a California nonprofit mutual benefit corporation, and the donor, who donated a used miter saw for Clubhouse 4 woodshop. Whereas GRF and donor recognize the importance of community facilities and amenities, and whereas GRF and donor acknowledge the benefit of donations when they have a purpose consistent with GRF goals and are in the best interest of Laguna Woods Village, and whereas the donor has offered to donate a used miter saw for Clubhouse 4 woodshop, and whereas the Recreation and Special Events Department Director or Financial Services Director reviewed and affirms that the proposed donation meets the criteria for acceptance contained in the GRF donation policy. That is, that it meets a true need of the facility, does not interfere with the intended current or future use of the facility, and that it does not require a relocation of other equipment or infrastructure to accommodate the donation. Now therefore be it resolved June 6, 2023, that GRF and donor, in accordance with the described conditions and obligations hereafter set forth, agree as follows. Section 1. The donation, known as a used miter saw for Clubhouse 4 woodshop, described below, is donated in its entirety to GRF, hereafter owned by GRF and managed on behalf of the residents of Laguna Woods Village by Village Management Services, Inc., VMS. Sorry. Section 2, donation description is a used miter saw. Clubhouse 4 is the location, Clubhouse 4 woodshop. Section 3, the amount of the donation. The cost was $300. Installation cost is $0. The maintenance cost is $100 annually. Total estimated donations $400. Section 4, GRF reserved the right to move or remove and or retire the donation following cessation of a 5-year period. The term shall commence upon the date entered into and indicated above. Section 5, GRF will not replace the donation or community space improvement if it is stolen, vandalized, worn out, irreparably damaged, destroyed, or expires. Section 6, installation and maintenance. GRF shall be responsible for installation and maintenance of the item, including any reasonable repairs. Section 7, term. The term of this agreement is a minimum of 5 years or beyond, if applicable. And resolved further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized to carry out this resolution as written. I move we accept this donation of the used miter saw for Clubhouse 4 woodshop.
I second.
Is there any discussion? Are there any objections? If there are no excuse me, if there are no objections, then the motion to approve the donation of a miter saw for Clubhouse 4 is passed. Thank you. So the next item is the board will take a 5-minute break, and I need one.
Alrighty, yay! Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Awesome. We're moving right along.
Company is going to be coming here, and we are able to ask them questions in regards to the space planning. So that is part of the closed meeting.
Okay.
And because we're finishing up in such a timely manner, Paul is checking to find out just exactly when he's going to be here, when he's expected to be here. So what we would do was we would start the closed meeting here, and then after the question and answers, then we would resume to the
Okay.
room. Okay. So, any questions? No. Okay. So we're going to resume. What I need to know here is if Jim is available and he's going to show his charts.
He was on.
I'm here.
He was on Zoom.
Yeah.
I'm here.
You're here.
He's there, but we can't see him.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes?
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Okay.
Where did you go?
Okay. Should I start? Oh, good. Yes, please. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome.
Okay. Now this first chart includes all revenues and expenses, including those designated for reserves, including investment income, transfer facilities fees, and the GRF portion of the reserve.
Going in and out.
It also includes the contingency portion of the HOA fees. So through the reporting period of April 30th, 2023, GRF had net revenue of $1,755,000 with a total revenue of $17,983,000 and a total expense of $16,228,000. GRF was better than budget by $765,000, with total revenues coming in at $1,156,000 better than anticipated, and that's due to unrealized gain on investments.
Yeah, can you please talk a little louder? Can you please adjust the microphone, please?
I was able to turn up the volume, Jim. You might need to stay close to your microphone when you're speaking because you seem to be going in and out. Thank you.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Yeah, I'll speak right into the microphone. Is that better?
Yes. Yes.
How's that?
That's much better.
Oh, okay. It looks like I'm going to have to speak right into the mic.
Yeah, that's good, yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
Okay,
Again, I'll
you
just
two. All right,
Okay,
go ahead.
All right. So I'll start with the slide. The end of this slide. So through the reporting period of April 30th, 2023, GRF had a net revenue of $1,755,000, with total revenue of $17,983,000, and a total expense of $16,228,000. It was better than budget by $765,000, with total revenues coming in at $1,156,000 better than anticipated, and that's due to unrealized gain on our investments. This was offset to some degree by the expenses worse than budget of $391,000, and that's due to the sell-off of poor-performing investments, which caused a realized loss in the expense side of the financial statements. Slide 2, please. Okay. This next chart displays the operating fund, which excludes non-operating revenues, expenses, and depreciation. This report shows a favorable variance of $721,000 through the reporting period, with expenses better than budget by $1,071,000. It's offset by revenues worse than budget of $350,000. This particular fund, this report, has more of a direct effect on the HOA fees. Slide 3, please. This slide reflects the current market value of the GRF reserves and the discretionary investment portfolio. The original market value at the time of it, and the original market value at the time of inception. The current market value of the GRF portfolio is $18,550,000. That's as of April 30th. And that's compared to a value at inception of $19,031,000. The year-to-date market revenue increased by $341,000 or 1.9%, and is decreased by $481,000 or 2.5% since inception. In April, the value of the portfolio increased by $91,000. Slide 4, please. Of the $18,550,000 portfolio, $15,968,000 is held with our reserve portfolio. In addition to discretionary investments, the reserve fund assets also include non-discretionary investments of $16,395,000. It's offset by accounts payable of $259,000, and that results in a net reserve balance of $32,104,000. Next slide, please. Now, if we go back to the operating fund and analyze some of the variances, and this has a much more significant impact on the HOA assessments. This slide shows our most significant operating variances by category, with the green bars representing favorable variances and the orange bars representing unfavorable variances. And of course, leading the favorable variances again is employee compensation, and that's due primarily to various vacancies in general services for bus driver positions, security services, for gate ambassador positions. In addition, there are various vacancies in maintenance and construction, landscape services, information services. And as usual, recruitment is continuing to, is a work in process constantly, I should say. If you also see that materials and supplies are favorable variance, and it's primarily due to over-accrued expenses for 2022. This is an accounting phenomenon, which basically says we accrued for more materials and supplies than we actually needed. And so as we go through the accounting process, we are reversing some of that accrual. Next chart, please. Oh, I'm sorry. You just go back to that chart. If we look at broadband services, of course, the revenue is down on that, as well as some of the expenses. And net revenue to mutuals, which is an accounting, our net transfer to the mutuals is also a positive variance, or unfavorable variance, excuse me. Next chart, please. Now this slide shows our sources of revenue other than assessments, such as fees and rentals. To date, we have received just over $3,089,000 of non-assessment operating revenue. By category, we can see that the largest revenue is broadband services, and that's followed by golf revenue, clubhouse rentals, and event fees. The other revenue, which includes class fees, additional occupancy fees, RV storage fees, and locker room fees, are among the others and amount to about 14%. These revenues offset the costs and help keep our assessments down. Next chart, please. Now this chart shows, as usual, that our largest operating expense is compensation, and that's followed by cable and programming expenses. Of the $13.1 million, excluding depreciation, those two categories account for 72% of the operating expense. Professional and legal fees, utilities, fuel, insurance, repairs and maintenance, etc., make up the remaining 26%. If you consider that the cable and programming expenses are offset by broadband revenue, the compensation accounts for 69% of the net expense, while insurance, utilities, and outside account outside services account for 31%. Again, the 70% is consistent with practically all of the rest of the organizations there. Slide 8, please. The reserve and restricted funds adjusted balances are shown below. Starting with the first column on the left, reserve funds have a combined ending of $37,600,000, with the restricted fund balances having an imbalance of $4 million. Included in this total are contributions received this year through assessments, the trust facilities fees, and investment earnings. The second column shows a work in process of $5.5 million for the reserve and $121,000 for a restricted fund. These reflect the amounts paid for projects not completed. Third column represents the resulting adjusted fund balance, again, of $32.1 million and $3.9 million for the restricted. Primarily, that's the contingency fund. Next slide, please. This slide shows our resale history from 21 to 23. It shows that in 2023 through April, we are 50 behind the 2021 rate and 130 behind the 2022 rate. This, if this rate continues, it'll put some pressure on our reserve fund. As you know, for each resale, for most of the resales, we get a trust facilities fee of $7,500 for each sale.
Right.
And so when that doesn't come in, that puts pressure on our reserve fund. Next chart, please. This listing on this slide gives you an idea of where the reserve money is committed. Of the $20.3 million appropriated by the board for the various projects and equipment purchases, the remaining encumbrances against our reserves is $15 million. And that's primarily for the purchase and replacement of equipment throughout the facilities. Restricted funds had a total appropriation of $98,000 and a remaining encumbrance of $20,000. And that's for moving the bus benches. Next slide, please. When we compare our adjusted fund balances to historical balances of the past 5 years, we see that GRF has averaged almost $27 million in reserve funds and $2.3 million in contingency. And that concludes my presentation. Are there any questions?
Nope. Will you go on to the rest of your reports?
Okay. Let's see. Let me look at my. Hold on a second. Okay. At the Finance Committee, the most important thing that we actually considered, and we appointed an advisory committee to consider this, is the room pricing. We decided, upon reflection, it's been delayed to some degree because the finance team, the VMS finance team, has been somewhat overwhelmed with budget and other reporting, the audit, as well as quite a few other things, as well as some hits on their staff. You know, the director of financial director is out, and I've been informed that 2 of the staff has had some special events in their lives, and that has caused some of the work that we would normally be able to get done not to get done during this busy period. But we will get back on track, and we'll start to
Excuse me, ma'am. Is everybody else having a problem hearing Jim?
Yeah, Jim, you're cutting in and out now. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, I guess I really have to get up front here. Okay, so we talked about the annual audit report the last time, which basically came with uh, no comments. The audit was essentially showed that our accounting systems and accounting performance has been very much as usual, which is to some degree, let's call it not perfect, but with no objections from the audit. The capital review took place on May 20th, 2023, and that was to gain to show what the capital submissions from staff were and to gain input from the board members as well as the committee as well as the residents. And we also had the budget operating review, which was just yesterday. And again, that was version 1 to gain input from the community and other board members. And so with that, that concludes my reports.
Okay, thank you. So the next report will be the Community Activity Committee. Director Horton.
Thank you. I just wanted to mention that last month's activities were, all of them were a success. To name a few, the Memorial Day and the Club Expo were really winners. Also, I wanted to make a note that the Performing Arts Center has extended operating hours, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., and there's reservable rooms over there. And Tuesdays and Thursdays, they're open from 9 to 5. So if any clubs are looking for a space, I recommend you go look at Clubhouse 3. Also, I wanted to thank all of the people that have been donating lately. Crazy Quilters, we've gotten 3 or 4 pieces of big equipment over at the wood shop. The people at the Equestrian Center, we just couldn't afford to buy all of the stuff that the people have got together and donated. And I want to give a big shout out to them. My next meeting, or our next meeting, is Thursday at 1 o'clock in this boardroom. Thank you.
Okay, so the next item is the Landscape Committee, and Director Skillman had to leave. And so the committee met on May 10th, 2023, and the next meeting is August 9th at 1:30 in the boardroom and is also a virtual meeting. So the next report will be Maintenance and Construction Committee. Director Karimi.
Thank you, Madam President. Last meeting was on April 12, which was reported on, and our next meeting is June 14, and depends on the, all the things that are happening. We might have a pretty interesting meeting on 14. All depends.
So aren't you going to be looking at the scope, for Clubhouse 1 at the M&C meeting?
For the RFP, for the?
Yes.
Yeah, the RFP is in works. I mentioned that to you yesterday. They are still having problem with the consultant to get the information. Oh. I gave them the deadline till Friday. Oh, if great. They don't, we need to either our staff or we need to seek another consultant because we cannot wait any longer.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Yes, that was what I was waiting to hear. Find out what we're.
Well, that's where we are. Is sometimes we are at the mercy of outside world, and if they don't respond, we need to make a different decision.
Right. So, Elsie.
Is that the same? I'm not going to say any names. Is that the same contractor we visited? Oh, I'm sorry.
No. This is for
interior.
RFP for the construction work.
I thought it was the other one.
No. The other one, the coloring and all of that is done. Oh. This is just getting the RFP, going out, getting the cost for doing the work.
Okay, that's better.
Yeah, that is.
Well, it's not better, but
No,
it's
no.
better.
Yeah.
Well,
It's one step ahead, you know.
well, yeah, we passed that one. I'm hope we did.
Okay, so the next report will be the Clubhouse Renovation Ad Hoc Committee, Director Garth Hoffner.
Okay, as stated, our last meeting was in March. This Friday, we will have a tour of Clubhouse 3 to talk to the technicians about the sound system, and we're also going to look at the lighting, the emergency lighting system to check it out. And that's just tentative, but Guy is going to publish that. He's going to send an email out.
Okay. I sent basically what had happened in regards to the sound system is that Recreation went out and had an inspector actually go and review every single sound system and then give us a list for all the clubhouses. And so I need to talk to Guy basically to see, you know, what the purpose of the committee going out and reviewing something that has already been done. I did send an email, but I didn't get any response.
And Guy specifically told me that he had not had any report from CAC about what was the problem with these sound systems.
Right.
And if a consultant went out and did that, then we should be able to look at the report. That should have more information.
Absolutely.
That should have more information than just a clubhouse number, because as I understand it, all of these clubhouses, especially 5, has meetings in the evening all the time, and there would be no meetings if there was a problem with the sound system of that nature.
Well, I agree with you that they should share it, you know. There will be questions, and I want to talk with you and Guy and Reza and basically see how we handle the entire requirement, you know, for the sound system, because this report, actually what Recreation did was put it in as a budget item for our reserves. And the amount is quite a bit because they were covering, yeah.
It's over the top.
So let's just get together and basically talk about how we want to handle the entire requirement. Okay. All right. Thank you. Reza?
I just want to make sure, I think we talked about it, since there are more than one clubhouse that needs sound system.
Right.
We really need to gather information for although each clubhouse is at different need, at different level of the audio system,
Right.
but we should be able to look at all of them and bundle them together and go for one approach rather than doing individually, because that's going to cost us arm and a leg doing individually. And I don't want to mix that up with the clubhouse renovation. That should have its own budget and its own approach, because the two doesn't mix and match and going to delay everything.
So
I
we'll
appreciate
just
if you
get
do it that
together.
way.
Yeah, we'll get together. And, okay, so the next item,
Martin has a comment.
Martin, I'm sorry.
I just have a question and comment about the sound systems. I was just wondering if the committee has ever thought about going out and looking at a comparable auditorium who's had their sound, sound system upgraded. Just like a field trip is sometimes worth its weight in gold. That you find out how others sound, and of course we have a budget that we're working with. But I'm just thinking that it's good to always look at.
And I agree with you. The gentleman that actually did the inspection is responsible for the sound system at the Spectrum. So.
Sigurdsson's. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I might point out that their rehearsal hall at Sigurdsson is about the same size as our auditorium. I don't know if you've ever been, but I have. So.
Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome. Okay, where are we? The next item would be the report of the Media and Communications. Director Mellon.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Media and Communications Committee met Wednesday, May 15th, 1:30 p.m. And our reports, Media and Communications report from Ms. Pollen included mutual email blasts, latest village breeze, clarification of free mulch services, opting out of paper mailings, driving range closures while it's being renovated, work on ad hoc committees of various kinds. Mr. Ortiz reported on the broadband services, particularly Village Television YouTube subscriber counts continue to increase, while set-top box rentals and premium channels and other pay services continue to decrease. Mr. Ortiz announced that Village Television's This Day host, Lisa Hart, is retiring. 2 new hosts will work with Ms. Hart in the next few weeks before she leaves the program in mid-June. That ends my report on the committee. The next committee meeting will be Monday, July 17th at 1:30 here, virtual and board. The website ad hoc committee a report was given by Ms. Rothrock. She reviewed the tasks and meetings involved in requesting and evaluating vendor proposals. She estimated that the committee would make a recommendation on a final vendor at the next meeting, May 22nd, which they have done. And the next meeting for that committee is to be arranged. And finally, the broadband ad hoc committee report. One thing that the next meeting is to be arranged, and that's the end of my report.
Okay, thank you. So the next report is mobility and vehicles. Director Addington.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You said mobility and vehicles, right? I was paying strict attention, and you said mobility and vehicles, right?
Yep.
Traffic.
Is that you?
So here's traffic.
She likes traffic first.
I want traffic. Okay, mobility and vehicles. Once again, it still met the last time on February 23rd, and we still canceled the March meeting, and unfortunately, Don Tebbets is still gone. So finally, with regret, we will have the next meeting on June 7th, 2023, without Don, at 1:30 p.m. in the boardroom. Thank you.
Okay, so the next item is the report of Security and Communication Access Committee, and Director Skillman had to leave for a moment. And basically, the committee met on April 26th, and the next meeting will be June 28th at 1:30 in the boardroom and as a virtual meeting. So Elsie, you're next. This is the report on the Laguna Woods Village traffic hearings.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're welcome.
I have that one too. The traffic hearings are for people who get tickets or get notices of violation, as we call them in the business, and then they protest. They don't want to pay their fine, or they think they're innocent or whatever, and so we offer them this chance to give their side of the story. And things are picking up. In NOV land, that's short for notice of violation. And in NOV land, this time we had 9 offenses committed by 6 offenders. Yes. I know, we're really climbing. Sometimes we were having 1 and 2, and now we've got, things are hopping. So 2 of those offenses were suspended, and I'm as sorry as I can be, but they involved valid parking permits, so it wasn't anything violent. It was no violent crime. It was just this parking permit. But I can't remember what suspended means, so I'm sorry about that. But in full disclosure, okay, 5 of the offenses received a full fine, and 2 received reduced fines. And when those other ones were suspended under mysterious circumstances, those 6 offenders turned to 5. So 5 offenders and a net 7 offenses. We have 5 full fines and 2 reduced fines. And the next meeting, the next hearings will be, which are private, so I don't even know why I advertised this date, because of confidentiality purposes, is June 21st, 2023 at 9 o'clock. And it's up by appointment only. Thank you.
Okay, so the next one is the compliance, and that's me, I'm the chair. So the compliance ad hoc meeting met on May 3rd, and the next meeting is June 9th at 9:30. So the committee is reviewing applicable documents regarding disciplinary policies and procedures. And this next meeting will be discussing the disciplinary hearing process and the violation matrix and the GRF club applications. Okay, so the next one is Executive Member Hearings Committee. Boy, I didn't write anything about that except for the fact that the committee met on June 1st, 2023, and we will start having a meeting every month. And basically, that's all I can report because the content of that meeting is confidential. So thank you. So the next report is Disaster Preparedness Task Force, and Director Adigan is going to report on that.
Ms. Gilman is having a busy week, and she wasn't at the Disaster Preparedness Task Force, but that was chaired by the Chief Nunez. So it was an interesting meeting. We didn't take a vote on anything. We talked about recruitment and retention of volunteers for good neighbor captains and the importance of communication. And we have some wonderful new ham radios, the kind that they're 25 watt, and you carry them around, and as opposed to the ones that look like walkie-talkies, those are only 5 watt, but they have their own antenna. But these 25 watt ones are in boxes where you can take them. You're portable, but they have to have an antenna separately on top of the building, and that's what's missing. They're ready to go, but we don't have the antennas up yet. And I don't think we've even bought the antennas. I'm not positive. But anyway, that was yesterday, and June 5th, and the next meeting will be July 25th, 2023, here at 9:30 in the boardroom in the morning. Thank you.
So the next report is the ITAC committee.
Martin has a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
To have that 25 watt unit with an outside antenna, that requires an FCC license. To have a portable radio that doesn't, or you're working under like a corporate license, whatever, but to have a base unit that you put arbitrarily anywhere, it requires an FCC license. I'm just wondering if anybody has looked at that.
We have a ham radio club here that's got about 50 members, and boy, are they devoted to their craft. So this has been going on for
So these are licensed, these
decades.
are ham radio frequencies?
Yeah.
Only?
Yeah.
Okay.
These are ham radios, yes.
Thank you.
And I'm not techie, but I do know that. It's ham radio, and again, I haven't seen the FCC license, but these folks are so professional and so devoted. If we ever have anything happen, God forbid, those radio guys are gonna, and gals, there's females in the you know what I mean. Anyway, they're just awesome. I'm very impressed.
You're not using any frequencies like for the security to talk to our security, their two-way radio system?
It's separate from that. The ham radio system I know is separate from that, and I think the security, I didn't even venture there, but I think theirs depend on having electricity. There has to be like emergency generators and all that kind of stuff. I could be way off on that, but this is a separate system from our security system. I know that for sure.
Okay, I just want to make sure we weren't violating any rules.
Martin, we're not.
Oh, and Martin, if you're ever interested, by all means, you go to the, I just talked about it, the Disaster Preparedness Task Force meetings. And the next one is going to be on July 25th. You really enjoy listening to those people talk, I think. They're the really serious ones, they're going to save our lives. They're just great. So
thank you.
And security, of course, too. Both of them. Thank you.
So the staff that is supporting the disaster preparedness is security. They actually lead, really take a lead in that.
Yeah, Chief Nunez is the chair of that committee.
Right.
What's the other guy's name?
So if you want to ask any questions, just ask.
Ed, is that guy's name Ed?
Oh,
is
Ed
there
Green
a guy
is
named
the
Ed
part-time.
that works for that now? Remember we hired someone for disaster preparedness?
It's Ed Green.
Ed Green, yeah. But we have a full radio tower and a radio club that, that's been a topic about, keeping it, and we need them. And
I think that's on this building, isn't it?
It is on this building, right. So, Ed Green is the new guy, and the disaster preparedness is down the hall. If anybody's listening and needs anything for disaster preparedness, we have an office right here in this building, right on the first floor, and you can stop by. They're open certain hours during the week, but you can pick up supplies, signs for your windows, all kinds of things. Earthquake kits.
But there's not going to be any earthquakes here.
Okay, buddy.
That was told us by
me.
By you and also James Tung, who is a geologist.
Right. But I told you, it's in the CCNRs. We're not
No earthquakes, okay.
No earthquakes.
All right. So the next item is the Purchasing Ad Hoc Committee.
ITAC.
I thought it was
ITAC. I didn't mean to miss you, Jim. Are you ready?
Out of sight, out of mind.
Okay.
The Information Technology Advisory Committee met on June 2nd. We reviewed our status at Adventico, which is our Microsoft partner. And they reported that we are slightly behind, maybe a couple of weeks behind, and slightly over budget as we move along, but still scheduled to implement the first phase in the fourth quarter. We are looking, the next meeting, we are going to be looking at staff augmentation requirements. What staff augmentation is, essentially is when we start to do all the testing and everything else, we still have to do the normal work. And so sometimes that may require that we hire additional part-time workers or something of that nature in order to get all of the work done. That is included in our budget. It is part of the reserve expense for this particular project. So it is not anything that we did not anticipate. But we really want to get a report from the impacted departments to make sure that they have the right resource as we go through this testing and implementation phase. And that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. So the next report is the Purchasing Ad Hoc Committee, and I'm the chair of that. And at our last meeting, we started to discuss the purchasing process. And we got to the point of finance. And so we are going to be reviewing the finance charters from each of the boards. Basically, Jim feels very strong about this, that we need to set a criteria because for when you go to finance and when you don't. Because there are so many times that during our process that we include finance and there's really nothing that they need to do except for say, okay, it's in the budget. And so we're going to review the charters before we move on, with the purchasing process. Okay, you have a comment.
What about fees? I'm having this problem where they're saying, well, go to finance, then to CAC, then back to finance. Come on.
No, that's it's very clear that fees have to be worked with CAC or the applicable committee that is raising those fees. So this has nothing to do with the fees, really. And I think that as far as the committee, which finance was, I'll let Jim talk about it because they formed an advisory committee. Okay, so Jim, talk about it.
Yeah, one of the things, again, and this goes way back, with all fees should really start in finance and then go to the respective committee. And so we're trying to change that process so that it starts with finance. It's been a little bit of, in trying to change that approach, it's been a little bit awkward simply because finance has such a busy schedule. We haven't really been able to actually fit it into their ongoing workable schedule. But it's clear that the fees themselves, when we start to look at fees, they have impacts on the clubs and also but it also, not the clubs, but it has impact on the committees. But it has to be done with a financial analysis first, based on ongoing expenses, etc. It's something that again, is generated through finance first, then looked at by the club. So we're changing that process, and I think that's where some of the confusion is right now, because many of the committees have always decided, we need to increase or change our fees, and then they submit it to finance. So we're trying to change that order, and that's changing a process in this environment can be difficult because it's such an organized, everything is very well organized in order to fit everything that needs to be done into the ongoing annual schedule. So we're trying to work with that. I hope that answers your question. Maybe not specifically on CAC.
We can talk to him personally and work out. Because
we're going to have to talk later.
Yeah, because I had some questions too, right? Right now, recreation, every time that they want to increase a fee, they think that their process basically is to go to finance first. And my thought was that was a little bit of a duplicate of efforts, because if they go to finance first, then they come to CAC, and then our process is then they go to finance again. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I thought maybe we could talk about that too.
Yeah, just because what's been happening is a particular staff organization or even the committee would go to finance and say, work out some numbers because I want to increase or change my fees. Finance would then essentially say, yeah, okay, fine, and here's the result of that. And that really is kind of a backwards way of looking at it. It starts with, based on cost and other factors, there's a necessity to raise fees. As a result of that, what is the impact on the customers that have to pay those fees? That's really how the process should be working, but it hasn't. And we're trying to change that process. So it's a work in process. Change is not easy.
Okay, thank you. All right. Back to the agenda here. So the next item is future agendas, and I don't think we have anything on our future agenda. And so I would like to go around the dais here for director comments. Do you want to start, Egon?
No comments, thanks.
All right.
Very nice meeting.
Thank
and
you.
Fast.
Yes, a little faster than we expected, that's for sure.
This is a good one.
Okay, all right. Elsie.
Nice meeting.
Okay. And then Jim, do you want to make any comments?
Yeah, I want to make a comment. This has been a great meeting. Thank you, Madam Chair. And I just want to make a comment about yesterday's budget meeting. And it just occurred to me as I wasn't able to attend directly, but I was obviously there. And it just occurred to me that the balance between the efficiency, service, cost, and customer satisfaction is really well done by the VMS staff. We ask a lot of them, and they give us a lot. Nothing's perfect. We never like the amount of money we have to pay, but when you look at what is provided, I just have to make the comment, the positive comment, that we get quite a bit for our money compared to other places. I've seen people. I have a friend that pays almost $500 a month, essentially for a tennis court and a swimming pool. Yeah. Right? And so I just think we're very fortunate to have the staff that we have. And I was pleased to see that they were being recognized, and I hope everyone takes the time to congratulate those winners of the special awards today.
Thank you. Okay, Reza?
I want to echo what Jim said about yesterday. We had a motto in the past that says, perfection is the goal, excellence is acceptable. It was a very good meeting yesterday, and we are looking for perfection, but we can tolerate excellence in our services.
Thank you. Yes, okay. Debbie?
Yeah, I just want to say a couple things. One is congratulations to all the people who won awards. I know some of them. I don't know all of them, but the ones that I do know work very hard. Michaela's still here, so I appreciate all the hard work that they do. I want to mention something about the ITAC and the project and the budgets part of it. One of the things that's come out of the ITAC is the intense scrutinization of all of our processes. So that's why it's taking a little longer, because we're going to have such great stuff when we get this up and running. People on both sides, residents and us, will notice the difference. I also want to remind people that Easy Pay is a great way to pay your HOA dues every month. So if you don't use Easy Pay, that actually, we're always talking about saving money and ways that we can all help to save money. And that's one way, using Dwelling Live, the app or the website, and opting out of paper mailing. That's really important. So those are the things I wanted to say, and I look forward to the security committee working on the crosswalk situation. Thank you.
Thank you. So I also want to let everybody know that I appreciate all of the staff and their input that they support, that they give us, and it's a lot, let me tell you, and their patience.
Well,
number one.
I have comments on CEO report that we got today. A very good group of people that we have who do very good jobs and very willing to help others. I would like to comment today, particularly Paul McGuinn, who I have called many times, and he has helped me in giving the information and whatever I needed. And also, Michaela, I appreciate. Many times I called you, and you have provided all the information, and we are proud of it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So do you want to speak next, and then Martin can speak? Okay.
No, I'm sorry, I skipped you.
That's okay. That's okay.
That's all right. It's all right. I just become invisible. Yeah, again, I too want to congratulate all the employees that we recognized today, especially our two specials here, Michaela and Paul. So, which we know you guys the best, but thank you, and all the staff. And it's just kind of amazing what they are able to do with given our faux pas as they come. But again, a good meeting. Thank you very much.
Okay, Martin.
Yes, the information that I have been gathering over the last couple of days, I'm quickly approaching that gigabit of data that we direly need, that bandpass or the broadband. It has just been like a lot of information that I'm truly I'm grateful and thankful to be serving the board. I'm very thankful for Debbie to be helping me with getting oriented to figure out. I mean, I ask questions that are out in left field, and she kind of yanks me back in. But it's just, and I'm very appreciative to the staff of what you guys do for the community. The level of professionalism is it's very high, and I'm very appreciative to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you. We're glad you're here. Okay, so the next item would basically be, since we've had all the director comments, would be to recess. And I heard that the speaker, or the person that's going to speak, won't be here till 1 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
So since he won't be here till 1 o'clock, we might as well go ahead, recess, have our lunch, and then he'll meet us upstairs, you know, at 1 o'clock.
It's 11:15.
Well, we can still do all the other closed stuff. Yeah, I'll get.
Yeah.
What do you want to? So we're going to go upstairs for lunch. Are we doing 12 o'clock or you? Let's do 12.
12 o'clock. Yeah, 12 o'clock would be
Okay.
good.
So we'll reconvene at 12 o'clock, and then we'll get through as much as we can, and
then as soon as he arrives,
we'll take care of
Wait
it.
a minute, what are we going to do between
Reconvene here?
11:15 and 12?
We're going to eat.
Oh, it's ready now?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, can't we work during lunch?
We can.
Oh, yeah.
I don't mind starting earlier than that, but I wanted to give everybody ample time.
Right.
So we're saying 45 minutes.
Are you
instead of-
saying we eat a lot, and that's why we need a lot of time to eat?
Need a
Right.
break. Okay, thank you, everybody. See you upstairs. All right. Thank you.
You know, I just keep going, right? Keep it going so we get out of there.